If you are seeing this on November 25th, we have kind of a major kite aspect happening in our astrological transits right now, which is allowing us to fly a little high. Kite aspects, they always allow us to be more elevated, look at things from a higher perspective. Now, I will say we do still have Chiron in a square on the 25th. It's squaring Pluto, which is in Aquarius, and it's also squaring Jupiter, which is in Cancer. So our emotions might bring us back down to the ground for some reality checks and possibly some healing too, which, I'm not going to complain about. For the most part, everything else that we have in the chart, next like a couple placements, is going to be in this kite perspective. At the front of it is Pluto. We also have the moon moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. More on that in another video, but for now we're going to talk about the kite. The head being Pluto and the moon, we've got maybe emotional contracts, maybe new life of emotions coming in. Pluto and Aquarius, you could also see new creativity. We're just out of Scorpio season. You could be thinking about, okay, well, what am I going to do now that I've gone through this transformation? We're also in a moon cycle right now that started with a new moon in Scorpio. So we're still processing emotional transformative stuff. Now that I've been through this transformation, how do I feel about it? What am I going to do with that? That's the head of the perspective. The right wing is a bunch of stuff in Scorpio, and we got some things in Sagittarius asking us what's the power from it? What do you really want? How do you want it done? What does that look like? Who do you want to be? Because on that right wing is also the sun. So who do you want to be? How is it going to be for you? The right and the left wing of the kites, I usually look at those as helpful navigation tools. So the head being where Pluto and the moon is, and then the right wing, we have navigation stuff. The left wing, that's going to be the Saturn, Neptune, Pisces area. Doing some funky stuff recently, right? But it's been funky for a couple years, so we'll just ride with it. As you know, also, Saturn and Neptune retrograde are almost done. So we're kind of already getting it together in these areas, getting ready to turn around. Order, structure, details, dynamics when it comes to kind of every area of our life and also the transitions that we're a part of right now. It could be your job transitioning, it could be friends, it could be work, it could be money, it could be family, it could be housing, okay? It could be hobbies. There's so many different areas of our world and of our lives. We also have a lot of spiritual influence in those transitions right now because Neptune is in its home place of Pisces. And good for it, This left wing is also helping us have the perspectives of, before we do turn around, what have we accomplished? What still needs to be done? Do we have our direction? Let's look at some long-term big picture stuff. Now the tail of the kite is Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. Now the tail of the kite, the way that I look at it personally, it lets us know kind of what we're leaving behind, what we're moving on from possibly. Emotional things that we've been working through that have kind of come to a head recently and are maybe a little bit done. We're moving on from that. So there's going to be, with the right wing, the left wing, and the front, probably some emotional things that we're like, oh, actually, I have processed this. Let's go ahead and leave it behind. You find yourself working through dynamics at home. It could be relationships at home. It could be your relationship with your home. And kind of working with the level that we already have, rather than looking at how can I have more? What have I already done? What have I already done and how has it been good for me? And what can I do with it now? And let go of these emotions is recollect a little bit. We have things to direct. So let's work with where we are. So you can expect these dynamics to kind of filter throughout the day on November 25th. And gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Hopefully that helps. It's a lot going on, so take it in stride. Enjoy the ride if you can, and may it be as easy for you as it possibly can be. And me too, that's true. And I'll talk to you soon. Keep up the work you need to do. Keep up your brew, I will too. That's what it is over here, always. For sure. Also true.